Sup everyone, this is Rita, aka Fàn Lǎoshī, your accent coach and Chinese teacher. After I posted a short analysis of this year's US Open champion Emma Raducanu's message to her Chinese fans, she started an account on Weibo, kind of like a Chinese Twitter, right after. And her latest Mandarin video clearly shows that Emma speaks in a very authentic Northeastern Mandarin accent, which is spoken by more than 100 million people in China. And the accent has long been seen as the most contagious Chinese accent. Basically, if you have some native friends from Dongbei, it'll probably start rubbing off on you really fast. So today we're gonna dive into videos of Emma and another super popular Dongbei speaker, Fàn Lǎoshī, on Douyin, and see how different the Northeastern accent is. You hear it all over Chinese media as well, so it's really important to be able to understand it. But make sure you subscribe to the channel first and don't miss out on our Mandarin learning tips that you won't find anywhere else. 3、2、1，订阅了吗？ Let's get started. First off, when we talk about 东北话 or Northeastern dialect in China, we're actually talking about Northeastern Mandarin, 东北官话, which is very close to 普通话, i.e. standard Mandarin Chinese that is based on the pronunciation of Beijing Mandarin. And this is why even a lot of Chinese natives, especially from distant dialect regions, would mistake Northeastern accent as Beijing accent. Like lots of comments on Laoma Chris' videos said that he has a heavy Dongbei accent, but actually his Beijing accent is pretty obvious to Chinese Northerners.
第一句带有北京口音的句子就是不知道变成不知道。
That being said, dialects in China can be quite complicated, even within variations of Mandarin. So what features do we have in common between the Dongbei accent and the Beijing accent? Number one, lots of neutral tones. Like I explained in this video 1 year back, the speaking rhythm of Beijing accent is quite different from 普通话 due to much more neutral tones and contractions. And so is 东北话。
你快拉倒吧！我告诉你啊，你以为我在这儿待着好受啊？
你快别说了，我告诉你，你以为我在这里待着舒服吗？ Number two, wu or wu. This was something that surprised my Taiwanese friends when they first visited Beijing. We don't say wa or wei or wang, etc., but we use the consonant wu instead. So you'd hear more va, wei, and wang in northern China.
特别是从温网到美网，从伦敦到纽约，
从温网到美网，温网，美网。
喂，
喂，您哪位？ Number three, 这个，那个，哪个。The pronouns we use every day, this, that, and which, have different pronunciations than in the South, 普通话, and probably what you have learned in most textbooks. They're not pronounced like what's in dictionaries as 这个、那个, and 哪个. We actually would always say 这个、那个、哪个。
你们这帮人说话哪有准啊？
你们这帮人，
你不是那天那光头强吗？
你不是那天那个光头强吗？
给我来一个那个，
你给我来一个那个。
那要么你就给我来这个酸辣笋尖面吧。
那要不你就给我来这个酸辣笋尖面吧。Additionally, in my experience, more and more Chinese people are adapting these now standard pronunciations now, no matter where they are originally from. 哎，哪个是你说的那个呀？哦，这个啊。Number four, 儿话. You may have heard that Beijing Mandarin is famous for the 儿话 sound. People say that we sound like pirates or whatever.
Clear up them there shambles, or I'll feed you piecemeal to the rats in the cellar.
But actually, 儿话, aka the R coloring sound, is super common in northern China, especially within the Mandarin region.
给大家带来一首台湾的歌。
给大家带来一首台湾的歌。
干什么玩意儿？
干什么玩意？
我告诉你啊，
我告诉你。Though people say Beijing accent has a lot of 儿话, many regional dialects have even more. Now the special features of Northeastern Mandarin accent. Number one, 吱吱吱 or 滋滋滋. Remember I told you that in a lot of dialect regions in China, especially the ones in the south, people don't really differentiate 吱吱吱 and 滋滋滋. It's similar in the north too. The difference is that in most areas in northeastern China, people tend to pronounce the R with the curl tongue sounds 支吃诗, except for the area where Emma's mom comes from, Shenyang in Liaoning province. So we heard her say,
我是艾玛，我想在这里谢谢你们对我的支持。
我是艾玛，我想在这里谢谢你们对我的支持。
想吃吃不着，想喝喝不着。
想吃吃不着，想喝喝不着。And in general, northeastern China, there's no such a clear rule to determine which words are paired with which group of consonants. Just remember what I've told you so many times. Tones matter even more than pronunciation. Come hone your Mandarin tones and Chinese voice with me in my upcoming training course. Number 2, or yi. I found this feature super cute, and it's a popular joke on the Chinese internet too. Dongbei people tend to replace the nasal consonant with the vowel yi, so 让 becomes yang.
我也不想让你们失望。
我也不想让你们失望。肉 becomes 肉，锅包肉 ，and 人 becomes 银。东北人。Number 3, 波泼摸佛 or 波泼摸佛. A more subtle feature of vowels in Dongbei is that they pronounce the Chinese instead of the w sound in these syllables. 波泼摸佛 becomes 波泼摸佛。
什么破玩意儿？
破玩意儿。
国外办事磨磨唧唧，你还不明白吗？
磨磨唧唧。
哎呀妈呀，你太磨叽了！
你太磨叽了。磨叽 that means people doing things too slowly and it feels like wasting time. 别磨叽了，赶紧出门。4, a lower first tone. Generally, the first tone in Northeastern Mandarin is relatively low. It's still a high and flat tone comparing to other tones, but it's drastically lower than the first tone in 普通话 and let alone 北京话. So 老公 becomes 老公，
哎，老公，
飞回去 becomes 飞回去。
飞回去啊！
我天天跟你说 becomes 我天天跟你说。
我天天我跟你说呀。
I can see that some people will leave a comment telling me that I can't hear the difference at all. Am I tone deaf? Oh my god, it is impossible to learn Chinese, but just listen to me. Learning a tonal language is challenging if your mother tongue is a distant language. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's impossible for adults to learn. You just need a bit more time to train your ears and vocal cords, an effective method, and a good instructor. It's possible for anyone to master Mandarin tones, period. Number 5, the first tone or the second tone. There also are some tone changes in Dongbei Hua. When people want to emphasize some keywords, and if they are with the first tone, they tend to say them with the second tone. My theory is that this could be a result of the low first tone. 知道 is a super common one.
我知道你不容易，知道你不容易。
知道，我知道你不容易。And also 多 in questions.
你多大岁数？多大点事儿啊？
多大？你多大岁数？多大点事？
整干净。
整干净。6, the second tone or the fourth tone. And the second tone in Dongbei Hua could change to the fourth tone in some cases, like 还、没 and 别, especially in imperative sentences where these characters are being stressed.
你咋还不回来呢？
那你怎么还不回来呢？
别鸡巴跟我说的没用的。
别跟我说这没用的，别跟我说这没用的。I sound so Dongbei. 7, special slang words. Just like any other dialogue in any language, Dongbei人 have their own slang too. And because a lot of comedians who have got on the most watched show Spring Festival Gala are from Dongbei, their slang is widely recognized and accepted by Chinese people from other places, which is why you should learn to recognize them too. 1, 咋？怎么？
你咋还不回来呢？
你怎么还不回来？
你咋想的？
你怎么想的？
咋了？
怎么了？ 2, 干，做，啥？什么？
你干啥呀？
你做什么？
啥人得罪你了呢？
什么时候？
你他妈啥意思啊？
什么意思？
想吃点啥吃点啥啊！
想吃什么就吃什么。3, 干哈？干啥？ 做什么？
干啥呢？
你做什么呢 ？4. 瞅，看。
你瞅啥呀？
你看什么？
好好瞅瞅咱们东北老爷们的气势。
好好看看。4. 整。做，办，弄，找，等等。
兄弟们，接着整啊！
兄弟们，接着做。
给我整事儿是不是？
给我找事儿是不是 ？6. 贼，特别，非常，
贼闹心的。
特别烦。范老师的东北话贼好，不是开玩笑。7. 滚犊子，滚蛋。
滚犊子，滚犊子，滚滚滚
！8. 唠嗑，聊天。
跟他们聊聊天，唠唠嗑。
欢迎大家在视频下面留言，跟我唠唠嗑。If you've ever lived in China, you probably are more or less familiar with some of these expressions, but it's great to jot them down. Pay attention for more examples and maybe try using them yourselves. Did you learn something from this video? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And wait for my Chinese pronunciation course launching in a few days. Remember, with Fàn Lǎoshī, Chinese makes perfect sense. See you in the next video.